Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this video, we read another 3 lessons from the book Al-Qira'at-ul-Waadihah part 1st. That is lessons 12, 13 and 14. These lessons are meant simply for practice and the application and use of the grammatical pointers we learned up to here. No new grammatical rule is touched over here in these 3 lessons. But before we begin to read the text of these 3 lessons and translate it, I would like to explain 2 important things here. One is related to the annexed phrase, to the murakkab al-izafi, and the other is related to the meaning and use of the word ayyun. We have already learnt that in an annexed phrase, that in al-murakkabul izafi, the first term, that is the muzaf, doesn't have tanween or definite article al, whereas the second term, that is the muzaf ilay, can have tanween or it can have al, whatever the case may be, and it is always majroor, that is it is always in genitive case. And when this construction jointly is used in the sentence, the change in the i'rab is seen in the muzaf. That is, now muzaf can be marfu, it can be mansub, or it can be majroor, depending on its function in the sentence, whereas muzaf ilay is always majroor merely because it is muzaf ilay. Now let us take the following example. We have Baitu Khalidin, or another example is Rasulullahi. So in the first example, the word bait is the muzaf and the word Khalid is the muzaf ilay. Now when we use harfu jar before this construction, the i'rab of the word bait, that is the muzaf, will change, and we say, for example, min baiti Khalidin, from Khalid's house. So here bait has become majroor because it is preceded by harfu jar min. So in the same way, we can use another noun in the beginning of this construction just before the muzaf. For example, here in this example, we can use another word before bait and as a muzaf to this muzaf. That means that new word will be again a muzaf to the first muzaf. So in which case the middle word, that is the bait, will have double role. It is muzaf to Khalid and it is the muzaf ilay of the new word which we used in front of it, which we used in the beginning. So for example, we say Babu Baiti Khalidin. So we say Babu Baiti Khalidin, the door of Khalid's house. Here Khalid is majroor because it is the muzaf ilay of bait, and bait is again majroor because it is the muzaf ilay of bab. But since it is also muzaf of Khalid, and that's why it doesn't have either tanween or definite article al. So it is without al and it is also without tanween. We read baiti, babu baiti Khalidin. The first word bab is marfu here because it is not yet used in any sentence, where its i'rab will be 1 out of 3 depending on its role in that sentence. So some more examples of this type we can see here in this table. Number 1, Saqfu Baiti Khalidin, the roof of Khalid's house. Masjidu Rasulillahi, the masjid of Allah's messenger. Qalamu bintil mudarrisi, the pen of the teacher's daughter. Babu ayyi shay'in haza, which thing does this door belong to? Another thing we have to learn here is the meaning and use of the word ayyun, which literally means which, what kind of, whoever, whosoever, any, every, etc. So it has both masculine as well as feminine forms. So its muzakkar is ayyun and its muannas is ayyatun, and both are used in the sentences. So here we have two examples of muzakkar. We have ayyuman kana, whoever he may be. Ayyatuman kanat, whoever she may be. It is used, that is, the word ayyun or ayyatun is used in the sentences in various ways, mostly as an interrogative word, and comes as muzaf. So you will see that it is always used as muzaf, and then another word, the next word, acts as muzaf ilayh to this word ayyun or ayyatun. So we have a few examples here. Ayyukum zadathu hazihi imana, which of you has this increased faith? Ayyul fariqaini khayrum maqama, which of our two parties is best in position? Ayyu baytin wasi'un, which house is spacious, which house is large? Ayyukum ahsanu amala, which of you is best in deed? Ayyun nasi ahabbu ilayka, who among the people is dearest to you? Whom do you like the most? Ayyul fariqaini ahaqqu bil amni, which of the two parties has more right to security? Fi ayyi shahrin ikhtibarukum, in which month is your exam? Ayyu yawmin haza, which day is this? Now we know that muzaf can be marfu, it can be mansub, or it can be majroor. It can be majroor in two cases, as we already know, when any harfu jar comes before it, and when another noun comes before it as muzaf to it. For example, we have an example here. Ala ayyi halin, in any case, at any rate, by all means. Here ayyi is majroor because of ala. Second example is babu ayyi shay'in haza, which thing does this door belong to? So in the first sentence, ayyi is majroor because it is preceded by harfu jar ala, and at the same time it is muzaf of the following word, that is hal. So we read ala ayyi halin. In the second sentence, ayyi is again majroor because it is muzaf ilay of the preceding word, that is bab, and at the same time it is also the muzaf of the following word, that is shay. So we read babu ayyi shay'in haza. Now let us move to read the text of these three lessons along with the English translation. But before that, it is necessary for us that we should memorize the meaning of new words used in these lessons. These new words are given along with English translation in the tables that are visible on the screen here. This is الدرس الثاني عشر. Here again we have to read these two words with fatha at the end. So we read الثانية عشرة, الدرس الثانية عشرة, 12th lesson. The lesson is based on muhadasa, in which we have some questions on the right hand side and their answers are given on the left hand side. So muhadasa means conversation. We have questions here and then their answers are also given, and also we can make other questions on the same pattern using the vocabulary, using the words we have already learned in the previous lessons. So this is a practice where we can learn how to ask questions and how to give their answers. The first question begins here. The first one is Man anta. It means who are you? And the answer given to this question here is Ana tilmizun. I am a student. Then the second one is Masmuka. What is your name? The answer given to this question is Ismi Khalidun. My name is Khalid. So almost all these questions are asked from a muzakkar. So our addressee here is masculine, second person and singular, because we know that anta, ka, etc. are used for singular, masculine, second person. The third question is Aina baituka. It means where is your house? Here baituka is muzaf ilay al-murakkab al-izafi, possessive phrase. Where is your house? The answer given to this question here is Baiti amamal masjidi. My house is in front of the masjid. Then the fourth question is Kaifa baituka. How is your house? Is it big or small? Is it beautiful, neat and clean? What is the condition of your house? Kaifa baituka. The answer given to this question here is Baiti Jamilun. So this is one answer. We can also say Baiti Nazifun. My house is beautiful. My house is neat and clean. The next question is Ila Aina Zahibun Anta. As you know, Aina is an interrogative word and it is Mabni alal Fatha. So that is why, in spite of using ila harfu jar before it, there is no change in the i'rab of aina because it is mabni, and we already know that there is no change, there is no i'rab for the mabni words. So ila aina zahibun anta. Where are you going? Answer Ana zahibun ilal madrasati. I am going to the school. Next question is Aina madrasatuka. Where is your school? Here again madrasatuka is muzaf and muzaf ilay, possessive phrase al-murakkab al-izafi. Madrasati bijiwaril masjidi. My school is by the side of the masjid, or we can say next to the masjid. Here madrasati is murakkab izafi and jiwar and masjid is again jiwaril masjid is again
muzaf and muzaf ilay, but jiwar is zarf and al-masjid is muzaf ilay. Kaifa madrasatuka, how is your school? Is it big, is it small, is it old, or is it new? So what is the condition of your school? The answer given to this question here is madrasati kabiratun, my school is big. Another answer to this question can be madrasati mashhuratun, my school is famous, well known. We can also use shahiratun in place of mashhuratun. So another word which has the meaning of well known and famous is shahirun, and its muannas is shahiratun. Mashhurun and mashhuratun, and also shahirun and shahiratun. The next question, kaifa ustazuka, how is your teacher? Answer, ustazi shafiqun, my teacher is kind-hearted, compassionate. Then the next one is maza biyadika, what is in your hand? Biyadika, although it looks that it is only one word, but the fact is that this is the combination of three words. One is bi, that is harfu jar, then yad, that is hand, and ka, your. So maza biyadika, what is in your hand? Answer, biyadi mihfazatun, in my hand there is a bag, there is a bag in my hand. Maza fil mihfazati, what is there in the bag? What is there in the purse? Fil mihfazati barrayatun mimhatun, barrayatun wa mimhatun, in the bag there is a sharpener and an eraser. Barrayatun means sharpener and mimhatun means eraser. The next question is hal fil mihfazati kitabun, is there a book in the bag? Answer, naam, yes, fil mihfazati kitabun aizan, yes, there is a book also in the bag. Next question is maza alal kitabi, what is on the book? Maza alal kitabi, what is on the book? Alal kitabi ghilafun, on the book there is a cover, there is a wrapping. So the wrapping is fixed on the book as a cover. Kaifa ghilaful kitabi, how is the cover or wrapping of the book? How is the cover or the wrapping of the book? So ghilaful kitabi saqilun, ghilaful kitabi saqilun, the cover or the wrapping of the book is smooth and shining. So saqil means smooth, it means shining, it means glowing, etc. So let us move to the next lesson, that is lesson number 13. This is الدرس الثالث عشر. Again we have to read it as الثالث عشر with fatha on both words, الثالث عشر. الدرس الثالث عشر, 13th lesson. Al-Masjidu, the masjid. This is a small essay on the topic Al-Masjid, but all the sentences used here are nominal sentences, Jumla Ismiya, and only the nouns and particles, Ism and Harf, are used in these sentences. That means no verb has been used here. So let us begin. This is the first sentence of this short essay. Haza masjidun. This is a masjid. Babuhu kabirun. Its door is big. Fina'uhu wasi'un. Its courtyard, its ground is spacious. It is vast, large, or we can say wide. Fina'uhu wasi'un. So this is muzaf and muzaf ilay, and then wasi'un is the khabar. Similarly, saqfuhu murtafi'un. Saqfuhu is murakkab izafi again, mubtada, and murtafi'un is the khabar. It means its roof or its ceiling is high, is tall, elevated. Mizanatuhu aliyatun. This is again muzaf and muzaf ilay, and aliyatun is the khabar. This is mizanatuhu. Its minaret or its tower is tall, it's high. Then qubbatuhu jamilatun. Its dome is beautiful. Its vault arc is beautiful. Fil masjidi hawzun. In the masjid there is a pond. There is a pond in the masjid. Fil hawzi samakun. In the pond there is a fish. There is a fish in the pond. Lawnuhu ahmaru wa asfaru wa azraqu. Its color, that is the color of the fish, is ahmar, red, asfar, yellow, and azraq. It's multicolored fish having three colors: red, yellow, and blue. Then the next section or the next para is fil fina'i shajaratu wardin. There is a rose plant in the courtyard, in the ground. Wa amudu kahraba'in, and an electric pole and electric pillar. Bijiwari shajarati hujratun saghiratun. By the side of the tree there is a small room. Bijiwari shajarati hujratun saghiratun. There is a small room next to the tree. There is a small room next to the plant. Al-hujratu saghiratu lil muazzini. The small room belongs to the muazzin. Bijiwari al-babi hujratun kabiratun. By the side of the door there is a big room. Tilkal hujratul kabiratu li imamil masjid. That big room belongs to the imam of the masjid. Miftahul hujrati saghirati indal muazzini. The key of the small room lies with the muazzin. Wa miftahul hujratil kabirati indal imami. And the key of the big room lies with the imam, is in the possession of the imam. The next section, next para is لِحُجْرَةِ الْإِمَامِ بَابٌ وَنَافِذَةٌ. The room of the imam has a door and a window. Al-babu muqfalun wan-nafizatu maftuhatun. The door is locked and the window is open. Alan-nafizati sitaratun jamilatun. There is a beautiful curtain on the window. Fil masjidi sa'atun daqqaqatun. There is a ticking clock in the masjid. There is a ticking clock a pendulum clock in the masjid. وَسَجَّادَةٌ فَاخِرَةٌ, and an elegant carpet, a deluxe or beautiful carpet. وَمِصْبَاحُ كَهْرَبَاءٍ, and an electric bulb. وَمِنْبَرٌ مَتِينٌ, and a strong and sound platform or pulpit. وَمِرْوَحَةُ سَقْفٍ, and a ceiling fan. أَمَامَ الْمَسْجِدِ حَدِيقَةٌ, in front of the masjid there is a garden. There is a garden in front of the masjid. لَهَا بُسْتَانِيٌّ نَشِيطٌ, it has an active gardener. There is an active gardener for it, for the garden. Here we have 4 tamreenat, 4 exercises which we have to solve. So this is the job of the students. I am explaining here how to answer these exercises, how to solve these exercises. The first one is, this is Tamreen 1, Tamreen first. Uktub al-jawaba bil-arabiyya, answer the following questions in Arabic. So these are some questions asked and we have to answer all of these questions in Arabic. So first one, for example, here the first question is Babu ayyi shay'in haza. So we can understand it means of what thing is this door, to what thing does this door belong. So the answer of this question can be like this: Hazal babu lil masjidi, Hazal babu lil baytil kabiri, etc. The second question in front of it is Kaifa hazal masjidu, how is this masjid? So it's very simple, we can answer it like Hazal masjidu kabirun, or we can say Hazal masjidu jamilun, Hazal masjidu qaribun. Another question is Afi hazal masjidi hawzun, is there a pond in this masjid? The answer to this question can be like this: Naam, fi hazal masjidi hawzun kabirun. So in this way you can answer all these questions and you can take help from the lessons, lesson number 12 and lesson number 13. Going through these 2 lessons once again, all these questions will be answered very easily. Now the second tamreen, tamreen number 2 is Imla al-faraga, Imla il-faraga bi waz'i mawsuf. Here sifat or adjective is given, we have to bring mawsuf, that is noun qualified. So this is very easy tamreen, very easy question. So we have to keep 4 conditions in our mind while solving this exercise. So the sifat adjective is given, we have to bring noun qualified, mawsuf. If the sifat is muzakkar, you have to bring mawsuf as muzakkar, and if it is nakira, you have to bring mawsuf as nakira, and if it is marifa, you have to bring mawsuf as marifa. The first one is wasi'un, this is muzakkar and nakira. So we can say fina'un wasi'un, both muzakkar and nakira. The second one is given as marifa, al-wasi'u, this is the sifat we have to bring mawsoof, but this one is marifa, so we say al-fina'ul wasi'u, or we can also say, for example, al-baytul wasi'u. The third one is again nakira, but this is muannas, aliyatun, so it is mawsoof can be, for example, mizanatun aliyatun. And the fourth one is al-aliyatu. It is again muannas, but this time it is marifa, so we have to bring mawsoof as muannas and marifa, so we say al-mizanatul aliyatu. In this way you can make other combinations, other murakkab tawsifi as well. Then the third tamreen is imla al-farag bi waz'i sifat. Here we have to bring sifat, we have to bring adjective, mawsoof or noun qualified is given. Again we have to keep these four conditions, that is muzakkar, muannas and number. Although all of these examples are singular, so they are singular, but they can be marifa, they can be nakira, they can be muzakkar and muannas. Keeping all these conditions, all these four conditions in mind, we can bring sifat to these mawsoof. The first one is al-fina'u. This is muzakkar, but this is marifa, so we can say al-fina'ul wasi'u, al-fina'u al-wasi'u. The second is al-hawz, so we can say al-hawzul kabiru, al-hawzu al-kabiru. The fourth one is al-mizanatu. This is muannas as well as marifa, so we have to say al-mizanatul aliyatu. The sifat will also be muannas and marifa. In this way you can do other examples as well. Then at the end we have four tamreen as akmil al-jumala, complete the sentences. Al-jumal, it is the plural form of jumlatun. Jumlatun means one sentence, and jumalun, al-jumalu means many sentences. So we have to complete these sentences bringing one or two words. So the first part is given bijiwari shajarati, by the side or next to the plant or next to the tree. So what is there that we have to bring here, whether one word or two words or the combination of words to complete the sentence. So we can say bijiwari shajarati hujratun kabiratun. The second one is bijiwaril hauzi. So bijiwaril hauzi shajaratun, for example. Bijiwaril masjidi madrasatun kabiratun. Launus samaki asfaru. So you can go on and bring one or two words, or we can also use some combinations, murakkab tawsifi, complete all these sentences. So here ends our lesson number 13 and we move towards lesson number 14 now. This is الدرس الرابع عشر. Here we have to read الرابع عشر, fatha on both parts of 14. الرابع عشر. الدرس الرابع عشر, 14th lesson, lesson number 14. This is the first sentence. هذا بيت واسع. This is a spacious or wide or big house. Here baytun wasi'un is mawsoof and sifat al-murakkab tawsifi, and it acts here as khabar, while as haza is the mubtada. And in the second sentence which is in front of it, this murakkab tawsifi has been changed from nakira to marifa, and now we can use it as mubtada. So Baytun Wasi'un is changed to Al-Baytul Wasi'u, the wide or the spacious house. Nazifun is clean, it is tidy. So Al-Baytul Wasi'u is Murakkab Tawsifi, and it acts here as Mubtada because now it is in the form of Ma'rifah. And then Nazifun is Nakira, and it is the cover of this sentence. Al-Baytul Wasi'u Nazifun, the big, the spacious, the wide house is clean and tidy. The second line is Zalika Baytun Zayyikun, that is a narrow, tight or small house. Al-Baytu Zayyiku Kazirun, the narrow, the small or the tight house is shabby, it is untidy, it is unclean. Lil Baytil Wasi'i Babun Kabirun, the big, the spacious, the wide house has a big door, a big gate. Al-Babul Kabiru Lil Baytil Wasi'i, the big gate, the big door belongs to the spacious house. Lil Baytil Zayyiqi Babun Saghirun, the narrow house, the small or the tight house has a small gate, has a small door. Al-Babu Saghiru Lil Baytil Zayyiqi, the small door belongs to the small house. So here we have two Murakkab Tawsifi in this sentence. The first one is Al-Babu Saghir, this is Mawsuf Sifat, and the second one is Al-Bayt Zayyiq. Al-Bayt Zayyiq is again Mawsuf and Sifat. Then the next sentence is Mahmudun Rajulun Salihun. Mahmud is a pious, is an upright man. Ar-Rajulu Salihu Mahmudun. Here Mahmud is in this literal sense. This is a Nakira and acts as cover of the sentence. So we can translate this sentence as Ar-Rajulu Salihu, the pious, the upright man is always Mahmud, is always praised or praiseworthy. لِلرَّجُلِ الصَّالِحِ خُلُقٌ حَسَنٌ, the pious man has good manners. Al-khuluqul hasanu lirrajul salih, the good manners belong to the pious or the upright man. Haza tilmizun mujtahidun, this is a hard-working student, this is a diligent student. Zalika tilmizun muhmilun, that is a careless or dull or lazy student. At-tilmizul mujtahidu mahbubun, the diligent, the hard-working student is lovable, is beloved, is there. At-tilmizul muhmilu mazmumun, the dull, the lazy, the careless student is condemned, disliked, and the detested one. Khalidun fallahun nasheetun, Khalid is an energetic and active farmer. Hamidun fallahun kaslan, Hamid is a lazy, idle and inactive farmer. Al-fallahun nasheetu rajulun rabihun, the energetic or the active farmer is a successful man. Al-fallahul kaslanu rajulun khasirun, the idle, the inactive or lazy farmer is unsuccessful or the loser one. هذه ساعة جديدة. This is a new watch. تلك ساعة قديمة. That is an old watch. الساعة الجديدة غالية. The new watch is costly, expensive, valuable. الساعة القديمة رخيصة. The old watch is cheap. Now we have as'ila. As'ila is the plural form of su'alun. Su'alun means one question. As'ilatun means many questions. We have some questions here. We have to read these questions and also try to answer them in Arabic. The first one is Ayyu baytin wasi'un. Which house is spacious? Which house is big or wide? The answer can be like this: Haza baytun wasi'un. Or we can say bayti wasi'un, or we can say baytuka wasi'un. Ayyu tilmizin mujtahidun. Which student is diligent, hardworking? So we can say Haza tilmizun mujtahidun, or we can say Mahmudun tilmizun mujtahidun. In the same way we can answer other questions as well. This is Ayyu sa'atin ghaliyatun. Which watch is costly, expensive? So the answer can be like this: As-sa'atul jadidatu ghaliyatun. Then Ayyu baytin nazifun. Ayyu tilmizin mahbubun. Ayyu sa'atin rakhisatun. Now after completing the text, we have a few tamarin. We have one or two exercises here on the next page. At-tamrinul am. This is a general exercise. On the right hand side we have Akmil al-jumala biwaz'i kalimatin munasibatin min al-yasar. Complete the sentences by selecting appropriate word, suitable word from the given words which are given in the brackets. So here we have the first example is Hazal fallahu. Hazal fallahu, this farmer. So we have to select the suitable word from the words given in the brackets. So haqlun is not the suitable one, but nashitun, which is given in the second line, nashitun is the suitable word. So we can make the sentence by selecting this word and using here. So we can say Hazal fallahu nashitun. This farmer is active, energetic. Lil fallahi, the second one is lil fallahi. So the suitable word here is haqlun. The farmer has a field. Haqlun means field. Lil fallahi haqlun. The farmer has a field. In the tilmizi, another one is in the tilmizi, we can say kitabun. So kitabun is the proper, it's the suitable word to be used here. So the complete sentence is in the tilmizi kitabun. The student has a book. So in the same way you can complete other sentences by selecting proper, by selecting suitable word from the given words which are given in the brackets. On the left hand side we have another exercise, another question, that is Akmil al-jumala biwaz'il kalimatil munasiba. Here we have to bring any suitable or appropriate word from our own vocabulary, from the words we already know. The first one is anta, then there is a blank place and the last word is sagirun. So we can say anta waladun sagirun. You are a small boy. Then ismuka. So we can use here khalidun. Ismuka khalidun. And the third one is haza kitabuka. Here we can use kitab as muzaf and connect it with ka, the pronoun. and the sentence will be Haza kitabuka. This is your book. In the same way, we can complete other sentences as well by bringing one or two words to complete these sentences. Then at the end we have another exercise. These are some sentences given here, but no vowel signs are given here. These are unvocalized, without vowel signs, without i'rab, but we can read them properly because we know the proper i'rab of the various words used in the sentences. So we can read the first one as Khalidun waladun mujtahidun. It means Khalid is a hardworking, a diligent boy. Then huwa mahbubun indal ustazi. Huwa mahbubun indal ustazi. He is lovable to the teacher. He is lovable or beloved, a favorite to the teacher. Huwa masrurun wa najihun. He is happy and successful. Then in the second line, the last line of this lesson, of this exercise, is Sajidun waladun muhminun. Sajid is a careless, a dull boy. Huwa mabghuzun indal ustaz. He is disliked or detested or condemned by the teacher in the eyes of the teacher. Huwa mahzunun wa khasirun. He is sad and unsuccessful, loser.
Here I would like to close this session with the hope to meet you very soon in the next video, inshallah, with a new discussion that is related to the use of verbs in the sentences and other related discussions. Shukran lakum, jazakumullahu khairal jazai, wa alaikumus salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.